Love is something that the doctor is looking for, and something that the young man on the street that doesn't know himself is looking for. We have to be willing to be very unorthodox in our approach. It's not about passing out flyers. Sometimes it's a basketball game.
Right.
Sometimes it's a simple "How are y'all doing today?" to strike up a conversation. Hey, my name is such and such, you know, and treating people who realize that they're on the outside of the gate like they're on the inside of the gate. Because people are cognizant of their condition, whether or not they ever say it. They know I don't fit with them. That's how they think. And they already have a preconceived assumption that they don't like me because I don't sound like, I don't look like.
Right.
I'm going to tell you something interesting I did. I pastor, one of them is in prison now. I pastor two of the most crime-driven young African-American men in this city.
Wow.
In fact, they are so connected to the criminal field that most of the crime that happens in Birmingham, they either did it or had something to do with it. I did something unorthodox. People on my staff said I was crazy. For some reason, they started liking me. They'd come to church periodically, sit in service, come late, leave early.
But they come.
But they come. Every now and then, if they ain't come to church, at least one of them would come on the campus and say, "Is Pastor out? Is he in the office?" And I say, "Hey, I'll let him come in." He just say, "Hey man, I just came to speak." You know. So I invited them to lunch one day. I took both of them to lunch on my dime. And we sat at the table. You know, we just got to dialoguing about some things, and you know, I began to see them, the human side of them.
Right.
I began to see the concerned father, you know, the frustrated father. You know, they start talking about the baby mama trauma, and, you know, how they love their kids and stuff like that. But you said something earlier that really triggered my memory as it relates to that conversation. We were talking about guys who've been on the other side of the fence and made money. I'm sitting there looking at them. These guys told me, they said it's so bad for us that every day of our lives we have a whole force assigned to us. They just follow us every day. Wherever we go. They were like, they followed us here.
Right.
And so I asked them, I said, well, I'm curious. How has the drug game been for y'all? How lucrative? And one who was in prison, he said, "Pastor, I tell you, I got pulled over by the police." He said, "I had $100,000 in my car. They took it." He said, "I spent 30 days in jail. I got out." He said, "In 7 days, I had another $100,000.
Wow.
How do you tell a man who nets $100,000 in 7 days, leave that life alone?
Right.
When the system, he was born in areas where, you know, they didn't invest in education. You know, born in the system and dealing with, you know, limited curriculum, limited help, and everything, set up for failure. So the only thing he gets good at is drugs.
Right.
I mean, what do? The first thing you gotta do is build relationship.
That's it.
Because relationship gives platform for effective and productive conversation.
That's right. That's the truth.
And during that conversation, that man may see that no matter how much money I make, there's a measure of peace that I don't have that this man has, that is much more beneficial to me than a pocket full of money.
Right.
The true measure of a man's greatness is not what he can acquire for himself,
Right.
but what he shares out of what he has acquired.
Right.
That man becomes great when other people can say, because of him, I'm where I am.
Right.
I mean, Tavares, you hit it on the head. That's it. Pray first and then talk. And that's what we got to get back to. You know, we have, in an effort to become so relevant to the world,
Right.
the church has become totally carnal.
Right.
To the point that where we don't do that anymore.
Right.
No, we're going to talk to God first. Because after we finish talking, it's going to be on him anyway.
Exactly. Exactly. You're right.
Because life can only get better when you know who's steering the ship.
That's it.
He's the author and finisher of our faith.
That's it. That's it.
You can't depend on your surroundings. You can't depend on your circumstances. You got to get it, toss it up to God and say, Lord, if you don't do it, nobody can do it.
Right.